three of us, Matthew Bailey, myself and Charles Bickford, we all knew each other in Hobart. We'd all played in bands together, and it's a very incestuous little community, musically and in all sorts of other ways.
But we won't
get into that.
Yeah, no Tasmanian jokes, thanks.
So we knew each other. It was just a question of magnetism over a period of time. We were drawn towards each other. And
you all decided to leave Tasmania at one point and head to Melbourne?
It becomes a matter of you just have to go if you're going to get anywhere, really. It's a very small scene. There were perhaps 2 pubs that were playing bands who played alternative music, and your audience, let alone the band, gets a bit tired of that little circle.
After about 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The residency is sort of like
a year residency, basically.
Yeah.
But so Charles and I brought the kernel of our ideas over here, and a friend of ours, BJ, was already living here, and he liked what we were doing, got together, and Matt came over when he could get his money together, and basically we took it from there and met Merida and Tim over here.
Okay, Merida, you're a Melbourneite? Or Melburnian, I should say?
Yeah, I'm originally from England, but I came over when I was 16, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't have much of an accent so far.
No, I lost it quite early on.
Jesus, but 16 years you spent in England.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you should still have an accent. We've drummed it out of you, haven't we?
No, you did. I really wasn't understood. I had an incredibly thick Manchester accent when I first came over here, and no one could ever understand me.
Yeah, because, up north it gets even harder to understand.
Absolutely clotted an accent, absolutely clotted it. You couldn't understand a word I said, so I had to lose it quite quickly.
I know some people who come across from the States at the age of about 5 and they talk like an American for the rest of their life, and I've never understood that, but...
Sometimes it sticks. I think I've had more of a sense, like, to assimilate and to observe and sort of hide away in Australia for a while, because I wasn't really happy here for quite a long time. I am now very, very happy, but when I first came, I sort of wanted to hide away.
How long have you been here? This will give your age away, but I'm not asking it because of that.
No, 23, so since I was 16.
Jesus, that's only seven years.
Mm.
But now you feel like you've fitted in.
I really love it here. I really love it.
Yeah, it took a while to get the accent going, and then, we could have a beer with you.
Yep.
Now, we'll fill in the other gaps. Obviously, there's a bit more of the tale to tell about the Paradise Motel, but we should hear some music from you lot. And this comes from the very first CD that you've got out. It's in the shops right now. It's called Leftover Life to Kill. This motel, okay, half of you came from Tasmania, the other half based in Melbourne. You've only been together, though, a year, which I find quite extraordinary. It's been pretty quick then.
Yeah, but we were very much together from the start. Like, we'd be together 2 or 3 times a week, always 2 rehearsals a week. So it was very constant and very sort of...
We rehearsed for 6 months, almost non-stop.
Before playing a show?
Before we even did our first show.
Is that because of nerves, or you just wanted to get it
Well,
perfect?
It's actually a combination. And also, it is very difficult for bands who aren't part of the scene down there to get a gig. So our first gig wasn't even in a standard venue. Our first 3 or 4 gigs, we lost a couple of $100 at every show because we funded them ourselves at places like the first one was in a cinema, the second one was in a church. We played a couple of times in theatres, and we'd have to pay for a PA for all the advertising, everything. So we'd lose like hundreds of dollars.
God.
But
and how long did you keep on doing that for?
Until at the time we had an ethic as well, so we thought, this is what we want to do. We don't want to get into pubs, these beer pits. But as soon as we went into pubs and actually made some money out of a gig, we thought, we'll do a few more shows there, right?
We could learn to love this.
Yeah.
And actually, I think I read somewhere that the pinball machines in one of the pubs that you played in proved a problem one night. Was that true, or did you make that up?
No, we didn't make it up. The publican acknowledged it, but the guy who can open them up and turn them down is a specialist, so he couldn't be called in. But we have some very quiet moments on stage, and these guys are sitting there playing the pinball machines or the racing machines. And
it's funny though, sometimes I feel like all those sort of dark noises add to it a bit, like a bit of cigarette smoke going by and a bit of red light flashing, and I mean other times it is very annoying, the pinballs, but sometimes there's a stillness that sort of like,
defines.
Yeah.
A lot of performers actually talk about that, and recently Jeff Buckley was talking about how he actually works now. He used to, when he was playing just solo, try to override the sound of a room because people would talk or whatever during the soft bits. Now he actually works with these
have
sounds.
to incorporate it. Yeah, definitely.
And you do the same.
Yeah, I feel I like to see out a window sometimes when I'm singing as well. And if it's nice and dark outside and, you know, a bit rainy, and then I see sirens go past, things like that. It's like when we came into Sydney, we saw there was a plane going overhead and we were driving through near King's Cross and there were lights coming out everywhere and the rain was coming down and there was a siren going past. And that kind of ambience is very much like moments in our songs.
Well, there is a very strong visual element to the Paradise Motel, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
But how does that sort of come through in the music? Do you all sort of sit around and watch movies before creating music, or do you sort of tell each other visually what you want to try to get across with a song?
I think it seems to sort of evolve, like how we feel, and I think it just manages to come across. Like we were talking about that first gig in the movies, in the Carlton Movie House, and that was, you know, dark red velvet seats and red velvet curtains and a stage and crusty sort of gilt and gilded things and like that. And we've got some old cinema chairs in the band house. Like we managed to get some, then were being thrown away. So we've got 6, and we've got some old sort of dark red carpet and the sort of dark greenery outside.
So it's a great place for the germination of things.
You're really into it, aren't you? That's fantastic, though, to do it that way. It must be a lot of fun to actually go to work, if you like.
Well, it is. I mean, there are a lot of tensions in the band as well. I mean, we're all writing stuff as well, and in this environment, there's often this. I guess it's a tension that's being played off. A lot of the time, the songs are, when they come to the band, a basic chord pattern and lyrics, and it's often the lyrics that then help form the music, that whatever soundscapes we're trying to incorporate into the song. But so it's often to play off the lyrics and the environment we're working in, which all the little accrued things which we've come by over the past year or two.
Does the band ever rock out at any point on stage?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Our stage show is vastly different. If you come and see us, it'll be very different to the CD.